Good evening, my name is Dustin Donahue, and today I'm going to talk about weapon safety and different ways you can enjoy your firearm. Many people are afraid of using firearms. With the information I'm going to give you today, and the proper safety rules and the proper ways to use these weapons, you can find that they are very enjoyable. First, I'm going to give you a quick history on where I learned about firearms. The majority of the information I received was through 4 years serving in the Marine Corps. I learned extensive training through them and fired many different types of weapons. Currently I am working at OPPD, Fort Calhoun Station. Out there they require me to carry a 9mm pistol on my hip, and also they have AR-15 rifles for us to have and to use. There are 3 types of weapons I would like to show you tonight, but first I'm going to talk about the 4 general safety rules. These rules are very important, and these are the first things they teach us in the Marine Corps. The first safety rule is to treat every weapon as if it were loaded. The second safety rule is to keep your finger straight and off the trigger until you're ready to fire. The third safety rule is to keep your weapon unsafe until you intend to fire. And the fourth safety rule is to never point a weapon at anything you do not intend to shoot. First weapon I'm going to show you today is a 12 gauge pump action shotgun. It is a pump action. The difference, they have a pump action and then they have a semi-automatic, meaning you don't have to pump the grip here. The pump actions, what they do is they cycle around from the feeding tube into the chamber. So every time you need to fire it one time, you pump it, and then you squeeze the trigger, and then you have to pump it again to cycle the next round into it. This weapon here has one safety feature, and it's in the trigger. This safety feature right here is an index finger safety, meaning all you do is press this trigger forward, or press the safety forward, and then squeeze the trigger. Then put it back in safety, you just simply pull it back. Okay? The second weapon I would like to show you today is a .40 caliber Beretta CX4 Storm carbine. Now the difference between a carbine and a rifle is carbines tend to be a lot shorter than rifles, and they shoot at a much lower velocity. This carbine in particularly shoots .40 caliber pistol rounds. So it takes the same type of rounds as, like, say, a handgun does. And it takes the same type of magazines, and they feed into the handguard here. This weapon here has a safety, and it's a basic safety you can find on many different types of rifles. It's called a push button safety. When you press the safety over into the fire mode, you'll see that it has a red indicator. When this red indicator is visible, then you will understand that this weapon is ready to be fired. The third weapon I would like to show you today is a Springfield Armory 45 XD ACP pistol. This handgun here, just like the Beretta, shoots a .45. It's slightly higher than the .40 caliber. Shoots a .45 caliber, and it simply takes pistol magazines and they go in the handguard as well. With pistols, you usually find more safety features on them. In particular, this weapon here has 2 safety features on it. The first safety feature is a trigger flap. This trigger flap safety inhibits you from snagging. Say if a police officer is to have it and he pulls it from his holster, he doesn't snag it on something, his clothing or his duty gear, and accidentally fire the weapon. You simply have to just press this little trigger flap in to engage the trigger. The second safety feature on this model here is a pressure switch safety, which is intended for, you have to actually have your hand pushing that in the proper firing way. You can't hold it like this and squeeze the trigger and make it fire. You have to hold it the correct way that it was intended to be fired. Okay. There are different types of recreational activities you use for these type of weapons, which are extremely fun. With a shotgun, 12 gauge shotgun, you can go hunting with them, which many people around here do. The second thing you can do with shotguns is go trap shooting. Now, trap shooting uses porcelain discs, and they fling them in the air, and the goal is to break them in the air and try and get as many as you can in a row, which is quite harder than you think. Me personally, what I usually do is go to the shooting range. It's a static line. You're basically in line with everybody else. You don't have anybody in front of you. You don't have anybody behind you. It's a static line. And you send out targets on a conveyor, and you can set them at certain distances. And you take your, say, your handgun or your carbine or a rifle, and you just stand and shoot it and just try and improve your accuracy, which is what I do mostly. With the information I've given you today about weapons safety and the different ways to use them, you got to keep in mind that the safety is very important, and once you get that down, shooting weapons is very fun and is very enjoyable for many people. Thank you.